Hello, I'm Abby. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing part 2 of my Halloween quilt. It is still October, which is amazing because I'm going to I actually put this quilt away and now I'm getting it back out and finishing it within a month, which as a quilter, as a sewist, you might know that is not the case many times. Like if you put something away, usually it stays away for a while. At least for me, maybe not for everyone, but for me it usually does. So I've gotten out my cutting board and the quilt. If you watched part 1, you know I finished almost all the blocks were done, but I figured out I had not cut out the background fabric, which is a lot of like individual measurements cuts. So I put it away to do other things. Now I'm getting back out. So today we're gonna start with cutting of the background fabric. So just a reminder, this is the Witch's Night Out quilt. I have all of the fabric. It came in a kit, you can see. I have done most of the pumpkins, but this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. I am almost done, but today I have to cut all of these squares of background fabric so I can start piecing together the quilt. And then I guess if I don't have these, I have to cut this also. So that is what I'm going to start with today, is cutting all these squares and rectangles and stuff to piece together the background and then just follow the directions of piecing together the quilt. I also have to make one random little piece to finish the cauldron because it disappeared, just one side of the cauldron. Actually, it's like this tiny little square here. So yeah, today we're gonna start with cutting and we'll see how far we get today. Like it is Sunday and it's only like 11:30 in the morning. So I have a lot of time today to work on this, but I'm gonna take it slow. So we'll see if we get everything pieced together, and then I'll probably leave it out. If I don't finish it today, I'll leave it out, work on it during the week at nights, just to get it done, because I finally got a confirmation from my dad that he is visiting, but that's in like 2 months, in December. So I have plenty of time, but I want to finish this quilt and my Christmas quilt, so I want to get them done and have them for him to take home, because my friend tried to send something to the US the other day. We found out it's very expensive with the tariffs, so we're not shipping things. And I've already told my mom that I'm trying to send home quilts with him, so she knows they are probably coming when he comes back. She's going to send kits to me that she has already, that she hasn't worked on or she's had for years and has never opened, that I like. So I will get new quilts at the end of the year too. But today we're going to start the end of the Halloween quilt. So let's get started. I have finished cutting all of my background pieces, and then I also cut an extra piece for the cauldron so I can finish that square now. But I figured out I already cut these. This is my binding. I already have that cut out, so I didn't have to do that. But now I get to piece these all together, starting with these little pumpkins. So I'm going to pick up my cutting mat and stuff and put out my sewing machine and start going on that. Alright, so I set up machine. I already went ahead and finished the last block, the cauldron. I actually sewed it and then promptly unstitched it because I sewed the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top, but I fixed it, so now it's done. So now I can start piecing the whole back together. Luckily, since I just cut all the pieces, they're in order of like on the page, on the list. You know, they go in alphabetical order of all of them. But since they're in the pile in order, they're going to be easy to find. Unlike when they were in the bag, all the other pieces were in the bag, I had to continuously measure to make sure it was the right piece. Now I don't have to do that. So I can just start piecing together. So I'm going to assemble the first row, I'll show you, and then I'm going to put it together. So we're entering like the final stretch of sewing this quilt. So this is the first layout. It's basically just 5 different pumpkins, 2 bigger ones and 3 small ones. So I laid it all out here. So now I'm just going to sew these all together. The first pumpkin block is done. Looks pretty good. The edges are a little wonky on some of them. Wasn't sure about some of the sewing, I guess, with the pumpkins. But next, let's see, we're gonna put together this row. So we have pumpkins, the witch's hat, I think that's the block we just made, and then a large pumpkin. So yay, we're gonna do this part next. So this next sew together is so big I had to lay it on my bed, but we have the 2 small pumpkins, you know, with the pieces in between, the witch's hat, and then this is the piece I just sewed, and then we're gonna do a pumpkin on the end. So we're gonna put those all together now. Okay, so I have the first panel done. Very nice. I think it looks really good. Really excited. So I have like, I don't know, a good quarter. I don't know how many rows there are, but you know, maybe a quarter of the quilt done. It's going pretty fast. You know, it's very easy just to stitch these all together. So very exciting. But I am going to take a break. I'm going to go meet my friend for dinner and maybe ride bikes along the river. So I'm going to leave my sewing machine out, like I said, and just return to it tomorrow. So, or, you know, depending on how long I am out tonight, maybe I'll return to it tonight, but most likely just tomorrow. So I will talk to you guys then, whenever that is. Sewing the next panel, which is some of the bigger pumpkins, 1 small pumpkin, and then the big piece of the cat in the broom. It's a lot less sewing, but this is going to be what I work on next. So it's still actually Sunday night. I came back from being with my friend and I feel like I had enough energy, but I got the next panel done. I'm not really sure about the sizes of some things because you can see this pumpkin is a little short on both sides, and so is the cat. So it's gonna be a little wonky, and I know my mom's not gonna be happy when she's quilting it about that, but it is what it is. And this panel's done. We got some pumpkins and the cat. We got like two strips of the quilt finished. So next, I guess I have to put more blocks together, starting with the bat and some of the small pumpkins, and then a big pumpkin and small pumpkins. We're gonna make another. This one has a lot of pumpkins in it, so we're gonna make the bat with all these pumpkins. Hopefully this goes together nicer, like level-wise. I'm gonna have to, I don't know, fix all those. I like tried to stretch the fabric to make them work together, but when I'm sewing like the rows together, I'll have to figure out how to make it work. It'll be fine. I've had worser problems probably in my quilts. So I don't know. We're not aiming for perfection. We're just aiming to get done and get a project out to the best of our abilities, which right now is what it is. So we're just gonna go forward. They're sewn together close enough. Let's go. So we're gonna make the bat and all these pumpkins next. This might take a little bit longer, just because there's a lot of like white pieces, or like background white pieces to put in between these. Not too bad. This one should not take too long. It's only, what, 4 pumpkins in the cauldron, so. And then we just sew them all together. Yay. The third panel is finished. Looking very nice. These lined up a little better. They actually didn't take too long to put together. So I just have one more panel with 4 bigger pumpkins and the cauldron, but I think I'm going to call it for today. It's like 11 o'clock and I'm just done sewing, so I'll do the 4th row tomorrow and then piecing all the rows together. It shouldn't take too long because piecing these rows together actually did not take long at all. So the fourth one will definitely not take long, and then I can just sew all the rows together. There's like sashing in between of the background fabric, so I just have to sew the width of fabrics together and cut them into their sizing. Shouldn't take too long, maybe finish tomorrow, depending on how I feel, maybe the next day. But I will see you guys then making the fourth row with the pumpkins in the cauldron and then sewing them all together. But I have 3 full panels done, looking really good, really excited. The fourth panel is finished. I think this one's really cute. I like the big pumpkins on the sides with the cauldron in the middle. So all of the rows are done. So I just have to, let's see, all I have left, I basically just have like strips of the background fabric in different widths. And I think I just have to like piece them together to make long strips to go in between the panels, it looks like. So yeah, you can see like in between the panels, there's just like one long strip of background. I have to put together the strips that I cut and then cut them to length. And I think, there's 3 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 more seams. 6 more. And I'll be done. So yeah, tonight we're gonna finish because it's still kind of early in the night. I have to go to Pilates later, but I will work on it after that. Yeah, and after that, it's just the other strips, because I have 2 different sizes. The other strips are gonna make a border around. So probably finish this tonight. It shouldn't take too long. I'm only slightly worried about putting the pieces together because some of them are a little wonky, but I'll always figure it out. You know, we'll work around it. But yeah, I just have those 2 things to do. The borders, like the outside border, and the sashing in between the big strips. So we are almost done. So I'm just going to quickly probably just sew together the sashing and the border, and then when I get back from Pilates, do the cutting and the sewing because it is getting close. I have to like get ready and stuff. But yeah, this quilt's coming together quickly now that like the blocks took forever just to do individual blocks, but like pasting it all together and actually making the quilt is going a lot quicker. Thank goodness. Like this last row took me maybe 10 minutes to make or like put together. Happy about that. So I probably won't talk to you until it's finished. Maybe right before I do the border. So I'll talk to you guys then. Till then, enjoy the B-roll. So, ta-da! I got all of it. Okay. All of it is together. All that's left is the binding, not the binding, the border to go, you know, outside around here. I did have to unstitch one of the large pieces to the sashing and restitch again because it was way off. I don't know. I only pinned the sashing to the first side, so I laid it all out, and then so like the sashing went on the bottom of the one on top of it. I pinned it then so to get the right length, but I didn't pin it to like the one below it. I just kind of winged it, and it worked well for 3 of them, but the 4th one did not end so well, and like one of them was like way off. So I had to unstitch it and restitch it, and it works now. I gotta say, I have to say sorry to my mom already because I know this quilt is gonna be not square or rectangle, and it's gonna be all wavy. So I'm just gonna have to say sorry to her now. Write her a little note when I pack this up to send to her. But you know what? It's gonna be done. She will work through the wrinkles like she has before because she loves me. But yeah, I think it looks so cute. All the pumpkins. I really like the hat. And you have the bottom of the bats and the cauldron. This quilt is almost done. I'm gonna do the borders later. It's kind of late at night, and so I'm gonna go to bed and I will do this and finish it tomorrow, and we'll be all done. And the borders I'm gonna do kind of like what I did the sashing. I already have all the width of fabrics sewed together, so I just have to pin out one side, cut it, pin the other side, cut it, sew those, and then do the other two sides, and then we'll be done. So basically pinning and sewing 4 more times. 4 more times. Yay! It's all coming together. When this quilt is finished, I'm sure it'll be worth it, but it has taken a while. So hopefully my mom doesn't complain too much with my craftsmanship. She has to remember the situation of me sewing here a quilt. It's not ideal. So, and it's my first quilt in a very long time. We're working through things, relearning how to do things, but we're finishing it, and I'll see you guys after the borders are done. The quilt is finished. I don't think I can get it in all the screen, but I finished the quilt, put on the borders, and so now all that's left is to pack it up and wait for my dad to take it back to America so my mom can quilt it. So now that the quilt is finished, it's kind of nice. I mean, it's been a very long time since I finished a quilt. I think I did pretty good. I mean, there's definitely imperfections, things I need to continue to work on to get back into the groove in, like just like lining things up a little more carefully. But yeah, finished my first quilt in, I don't know, 3 years. This quilt took 3 years to finish. This was the last quilt I put away before I moved to Korea, and considering it's the first quilt I finished in Korea, it's kind of nice. It's kind of fun. You know, I worked on other projects, like clothing projects and like random other sewing projects, but I haven't done like a whole quilt. And so to get back into it, you know, it is a little harder in the smaller space because I was used to like laying things on the floor and having all this room for sewing stuff, but it's been nice. It's been okay. I'm getting used to it and definitely making it work, and just happy to be back quilting and sewing kind of more regularly. Hope you guys enjoy. Well, I'm gonna continue to try and get out videos regularly. I already have ideas of what to film next, and of course I have to finish my Christmas quilt that I cut a couple months ago. I want to get that done before my dad comes in a little over a month and a half, 2 months. I can have both of those quilts go home, eventually get them back to me. So like I said, I already have plans for the next videos, so stay around. If you guys have ideas, or if you're a new beginner and want tips, let me know down in the comments. I will see if I can make a video out of it or provide information for you. But other than that, you can just continue following along of the projects I go through with Halloween and then Christmas coming up. You know, we don't have Thanksgiving here, it's Chuseok, and we already had Chuseok, so that holiday is past for us. My next focus after Halloween is Christmas, so in my quilt, I kind of want to make decorations because I've gone 3 years without like really having Christmas decorations. Last year I put a couple Lego sets out, but this year I think I'm gonna make some decorations, so I will film those and show you guys what I do. I have some ideas in my head. I have to figure out how to like execute them, so yeah, stick around. But this has been part 2 of the Halloween quilt. It's now finished as much as I'm going to do. So now I just have to give it to my mom. She's gonna quilt it eventually. When I talked to her last, she had another quilt of mine that she needs to quilt that's in like her lineup to quilt. So between this one, hopefully my Christmas one, and the one she already has, I'll have 3 quilts for her to work on. And she's probably gonna send me a quilt kit or 2 through my dad when he comes, and my sister, who, you know, runs White Rose Designs, and she's just released a collaboration with the Sewing Bee and Art Gallery Fabrics. She's part of the Sewing Bee collective, and they just released Geo Bloom, and she's gonna send me some of her fabrics. So I'm really excited to get those and work with them and like make something out of them. Lots of like ideas and projects I can definitely work on. I just have to like get back into the mentality of like sewing more often and filming it and getting it and showing you guys, because I've definitely sewn over the last few years, but I haven't filmed and shown it. But I will try my best in the future, so hope you guys stick around. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time, which might be pretty soon because I already have an idea of what I'm going to do. So I will see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye!